What is up, guys? Abixis here, coming at you with another Overwatch video. Today I'm talking about Overwatch 2 mid-season tier list update. Going to be letting you guys know who I think is still good, who I think is no good, and who I think the best characters are to play, including an official take on Ramatra going into the middle of this season. So let's get right into it. I want to get this video out of here quick for you guys so you can get back to your ranked grind. And yeah, keep in mind this is for lower elo, so be aware of that. I'm assuming kind of already knew that though, because if you're extremely high elo, you probably don't need my help. So let's get right into it with the D tier. I'm going to go with Wrecking Ball. I feel like he's struggled to find an identity in the current Overwatch 2 landscape. Definitely don't think he's a terrible thrower pick by any means, but just one of the weaker tanks right now, and I'm not feeling too confident recommending him right now. Sombra, going C tier on Sombra. She's just weaker than I thought she was going to be. Really, when the game first came out, I thought she'd be one of those sleeper amazing picks. Turns out she was a amazing pick in general, and after the changes, I just feel like she hasn't found her footing yet. So I'm not totally confident recommending her anymore, especially to players without a team to communicate with. Doomfist, I think the improvements they made to Doomfist were actually pretty substantial. I had him in like the F tier for a while. I thought he was literally the worst character in the game. I still think he's not amazing, but he's definitely a improved, much better version of what he was. I think he's, again, finding his way still, but over time, I think he can actually prove to be a solid pick. Genji, C tier. Genji falls into a category of characters I think a lot about this all the time. He's not terrible, but there are just easier options. You could pick up an easier character, get the same amount of value with less effort. If you're a Genji god, play him. If you're not, there's going to be easier people to pick where you'll get the same amount of value and even the same amount of specific value from a very specific playstyle. Hanzo, C tier, hasn't adapted to Overwatch 2 very well. I don't think he's awful. I just think he's eh. He's a mid-tier pick. He's not, like, again, you're not throwing if you pick Hanzo, but it's just a lot of easier ways to get value here, guys. C tier, Pharah. I play a lot of Pharah, but we're going off of the idea that you are a solo queue player, with the caveat of the pocket obviously making her better. I think if you're solo queuing with Pharah, you're probably going to be around C tier. Easier to counter than a lot of heroes, and a little bit harder to get value out of comparatively, but definitely not terrible. Widowmaker. Feel the same way about Widow as I do about Genji. If you're great at Widow, great at clicking heads, she's fine. Just easier picks out there, and that's the only reason she's going to go a little bit more down. Mercy is going to go in the B row. I don't feel very strong about Mercy, but she's just good. She's not like a character you're going to pick up and carry an entire game with, but I'll be damned if I haven't seen some Mercies actually completely change the tide of fights and stuff. She just isn't a carry in the traditional sense of you're not going to be killing a million people and putting the team on your back. But if you're just in a role of, hey, I want to heal and I want a damage boost and I want to be a support, Mercy's about as solid and well-rounded as that gets. You know what, let's get this out of the way. Hog's S right now. Hog feels damn amazing right now in this meta. Low elo Hog is even more oppressive. Hog is just a pretty consistent S for I think most people. Most don't argue that right now. So I'm going to get him out of the way and put him where I think he belongs, which is S tier. Bastion, I'm finally moving up to the A. I have had a pretty reserved take on the Bastion rework since it's come out, but I feel like he has really found a place in this game, and I'm very happy to say it. He's more fun to play against. He just overall, I think this rework was a great thing for him, and he's a pretty solid pick, especially if you're just starting out and trying to learn a DPS. He's a good one to pick. It helps you focus on positioning. Lots of things to learn there. Reaper, A tier. Reaper is a pretty good pick overall. He's very well-rounded. Unless you are getting poked out like crazy, he is basically good to be picked in every single match you play. Obviously, if you're doing terribles, maybe switch, but Reaper is a great first pick for a DPS and somebody you could basically pick into almost any composition or matchup. Junker Queen is a borderline A, but I'm going to put her as the queen of the B tier. I found Junker Queen to be quite oppressive if you can learn to utilize her kit. Her kit can be hard to kind of utilize to its fullest potential sometimes, but if you can manage it, Junker Queen can actually be a really good sleeper top tier pick. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put her at the bottom of the A tier. The bottom of the A tier. I think it's one of the picks I feel pretty passionate about, that she is really good right now in many situations. And I think you could really, really work with her. Torbjorn's going to go C. I think he's a pretty niche pick. I don't think he's bad. Just another niche one. Torbjorn's always been a niche pick. So that's how I feel about him. Zarya. Zarya is way weaker than she was, but people are overblowing how bad she is. I think she's probably like a B. She's fine. Not your best option as a tank. There's many better picks, but Zarya is going to be an okay tank. If you pick her up, you're probably going to have a decent time. I don't see why she would be the top pick on your list, but she's definitely not the worst pick. Symmetra got some weird changes recently. We're not going to get too into that, but we will just put her in the B tier for now. I really struggle with Sim, because like Sim at times just feels like the worst hero in the game, and sometimes I'll play Sim and I feel like I'm just dominating the entire lobby. So we're going to put Sim in the B tier. People are going a little crazy on the A and the S, and then some people are telling me she's F. I still just kind of want to just put her in the B tier for now. Right in the middle, she's fine. She's okay. Moira's A only because I think there's a healer that belongs in S that isn't Moira. But Moira is going to go A. Moira is decent damage, decent healing, mobility. If you're a solo queue healer trying to climb out, especially like bronze or silver, you can't really go wrong with Moira, and she's quite easy to pick up and play. So keep in mind that is something that you should consider. Lucio. Also going to put Lucio in A, right by Moira. I think Lucio is a really good pick. He's fit into Overwatch 2 really well. He is one of those characters, too, if you're still learning healer. You could pick Lucio. You'll get really easy inherent value out of him, just healing your team, speed boosting. No matter what you're doing, you're most of the time doing something positive. Beats a big ultimate. There's a lot of value with Lucio. Sigma is going to be at the top of A tier. I really don't think there's a better tank other than Hog and maybe one other one right now, but I think Sigma is a great pick. High damage, versatile as he has always been. Great all. You want to carry and you not want to play Hog because you can't hit hooks, pick up Sigma. Give him a try. He is really good right now, guys. This is where I got to rank Orisa now. I'm going to rank Orisa right next to Sigma. I think Sigma is great. I think Orisa is just as good in a different play style. Whichever one you, out of those big three, you play best, maybe pick those guys up and give them a shot. Orisa's got a really good kit for pushing people around. She's got great zoning ability, great at taking aggressive space. Mind your positioning because you lack mobility. Just a lot of things to like about her right now. Soldier 76 is going to go top of the B tier, low A tier. 76 is a all-around solid pick. He's good. He fits. He's fine. There's really nothing too much to say. He's Soldier 76. He's been about the same as he has been for a while. He's always a good pick. Never, I don't have anything really to say too much about Soldier. Anna Mari, A tier. Anna's strong. She got a little bit of a change I don't even really think she needed, but Anna's a huge game-changing ultimate. If you can hit shots and heal with Anna, play her. If not, stick to maybe Moira. Moira might be a little bit easier for you. If you're a DPS switching to healer, go ahead and give Anna a try. Echo is another one that ultimate nerf I think really hurt her when the game first came out. I think people now are starting to really find a fit for her. Putting her at the top of the B tier. If you're in higher elo, Echo is actually... I would say if you're in like Diamond or above, Echo is likely higher than B tier for sure. But the inherent value you're going to get out of an Echo and lower elo, sometimes you got to learn how to utilize every single ultimate in the game to at least a decent level to get that value. So I'm going to put her in the B for now. Ashe is going to be my S tier DPS. I thought about that for a second. I'm like, A tier or S tier? I'm like, you know what? I think Ashe is the best hit scan in the game right now. I think all around you could pick her into almost any situation. Her mobility can be a problem if you're not great at positioning, so keep that in mind, guys. Look at your positioning, rewatch your VODs, and try to figure out where you're positioning wrong if you're having trouble playing Ashe. Obviously, you have to be able to aim. Obviously, you have to be able to hit the grenades. But Bob is a huge ultimate. You have a lot of things to like about Ashe. I just find her to be slightly stronger than Soldier and just overall a way better pick than your boy here who's going in C tier. He's just worse than Soldier and Ashe. I don't think he's terrible. I think the grenade's actually quite strong. But ultimate-wise, Mobility-wise, he gets beat by Soldier. Ultimate-wise, he gets beat by Ashe. I just don't find him to be too amazing at this current moment in the game's state. Monkey? Monkey. I still think Monkey's a pretty good pick. I still feel pretty strong that Monkey's a good pick, but the prominence of Reaper really has hurt him a little bit. Reaper's really prominent, especially in like bronze, silver, gold, plat. So Monkey, for me, I just see Monkeys get abused a lot, and he's harder to play than a lot of the other tanks. I think that really hurts him. So I'm gonna put him at the top of the B. I felt pretty strong about Monkey being really good for a majority of Overwatch 2's run so far, but I'm pretty confident in putting him right there for right now. Let's talk about Ramatra. You know what? Let's get this out of the way. I think he's a low A. I think he's a low A. I definitely, you know what? I think he is. Strong if you can hit headshots with the poke damage. Interesting kit. People are starting to kind of learn how to play him. Starting to figure it out. Ultimate seems pretty strong. I think low A. I'm thinking he's there. See, I see some of him get fodderized though. So I'm gonna leave him A. I'm leaving it. Going with my gut. I think that's where he goes. Kiriko goes S. Come on, like she has been a awesome pick since she has come out. If you can hit headshots with Kiriko, she's all around, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, by the way, guys. The best healer to carry and climb with right now. I think you can't do much better. Junkrat is really slowly climbing my list. I didn't like him at all when the game first came out, but I'm liking him at this current moment. I think he's a A-tier pick. He's fitting pretty well. I don't know what has changed with him that I personally like. I think he's he's fitting in pretty well. I like him in the A tier. Baptiste goes A. Baptiste you can never go wrong with. Pick Bap any game. You're never going to really be having a problem. All around good kid. Immort's huge. Alt's big. You know, it's Baptiste. He's been good since he's come out, really. Tracer, I'm not going to tank Tracer too much for a skill cap. A tier. Tracer is not nearly as broken as I thought she was in Overwatch 1, who I put her in S tier like every single patch. She's still strong, if you know how to play her. I really feel like her and Echo are two of those characters that would go up in higher elo. In fact, you know, Echo would probably honestly be like A and Tracer would be S if we're going higher up on the ladder. For regular ranks, though, I'm gonna put Tracer in A. I still think she's pretty strong. Just think she needs a little bit of... You gotta at least know what you're doing. Sojourn, staying in A tier. Definitely don't think she's the most broken hero anymore. Still extremely good. But definitely like the balance changes she got recently. Mei is gonna go in C. Mei's like pretty nichey. I feel like Mei is a niche pick. I don't think she's bad, but she's just not as strong as other people above her. That's the moral here. Ryan will be the king of the B. I really like Ryan, actually. But a lot of people notice that he gets pushed around by Orisa. Sigma can outpoke him, outrange him. But I do find him to be still a good pick in a lot of situations. Like first point of Eichenwald, Ryan seems to be pretty good. There's a lot of map situations where I think Ryan is actually still a great just walking shield. Shatter can turn fights around, and the lower elo you are, the more likely people are to give you free shatters. So, top of the B for your boy Ryan. Zenyatta, also going B tier. You're good at Zen. You can pick him. He's good in a lot of situations. Got an angry, crazy hog in the air team Discord. I've been watching him get pissed. So keep an eye on Zenyatta for certain types of counters. Diva's going to go B as well. Diva's one of those tanks that I started out really high on in Overwatch 2. But I still think she's pretty good. She's just fine now. Definitely think she's fine. She's an okay pick. I don't think she's the best pick right now. But if you're running dive, you're still fine with her or Monkey either way. And then last but not least, we got Brig. Brig's going S tier. No, B tier. I think Brig's B. She's fine. You can pick Brig. Rally's cool. High mobility if you want to just get in there and run up with your tanks. But I still think you'd be better off with Lucio, Moira, Anna, Kiriko. But definitely you could play her She fits into certain comps really well. You want to play up with, like, again, play up with your tanks. She could be pretty good. Just utilize positioning, learn things about how to play her. Don't just pick her randomly, because otherwise there are much easier healers to pick, like Moira. But yeah, guys, I think that might be it. I don't know if I'd change any of these. This is one of the worst ones I think I've had to make, because there's so many characters I think could be moved around. The S tier I think is what I definitely put those three S. Kiriko and Hog for sure. Ashe being the more debatable one. I think there's a few DPS that could take her spot right now as S. There's just, I don't want to put too many people in S. I kind of leave S as my, this is what I think you should play. A is like these are also really good picks. B is, sure, play them. They're good. Nothing really wrong with those. C is like if you're a master of this character and you're really good at them, play them. And then D is I wouldn't recommend playing them unless you have a 60 by 60 poster of them on your wall. You have the t-shirt, you have the plushie, and you have a giant $1,000 statue of them in your room, and you just can't fathom giving up your main. Then please don't give up your entire life goal and not play Wrecking Ball. But if you've never played them before, maybe don't. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Good luck on your ranked climb, and thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.